Hello, everyone. As we celebrate Myron Belfer's 80th birthday, many people from near and from far would love to send him their best wishes. Myron's impact has been so substantial around the globe that it's impossible to include everyone in one video. Myron, I would love to wish you a wonderful 80th birthday, and I hope you enjoy this video.
There was a fierce winter storm that occurred many years ago. It was called the Blizzard of 1978. It was famous for bringing New England to a grinding halt. People couldn't get anywhere. When I arrived that summer as a brand new child and adolescent psychiatry fellow, I was greeted by a man who had already become a legend. He was a legend for having walked in that day through the storm and made it to work. That man, of course, was Dr. Myron Belfer. That same fierce determination and strong work ethic characterizes him to this very day. It has pervaded everything that he's done. It's been there. It's always something that he's been about, whether it's assessing a patient, supporting a family, running a department, reaching out to people all over the world, or whether it's just supporting his own family. He's been there with that same determination, that same effort to be there for people. For me, Myron has been a superb teacher, a wonderful mentor, and an incredible colleague. I consider it my very good fortune to have him as such a good friend, a friend who's been there to help me weather all the winter storms of my life and my work over these past 40 years. I will forever be grateful to him for what he has done in being there for me. On this day, I wish him the very happiest 80th birthday.
It's such a pleasure to be able to send my greetings from sunny Singapore to balmy Boston. Myron, you graduated from medical school the same year that Singapore graduated from being part of Malaya to be its own independent state. Your accolades are so many, and I'm sure your more august colleagues will speak to them. I just want to say that I appreciate, from the first time I met you, I think it was back in 2006, your friendship and mentoring over the years is something that I will never forget. I would like to share a story about how once, when I visited your home and was having a sniffle because of traveling, you took out a fresh silk handkerchief and handed it to me, asking me to keep it. That was always your nature, helping without reservations. I remember how you and Sandy welcomed us to your home and brought us to eat, and I must say your hospitality was so warm and loving. I could sense that you cared. You cared for people and you cared for systems. And your contributions internationally, both in the years with WHO and IACPAB, has really set you apart as a child and adolescent psychiatrist. There are only three values that I can describe in you, Myron: sincerity, integrity, and curiosity. These values have held you well over the years in the relationships that you have forged, the organizations that you've contributed to, and the research that you've participated in. Myron, I had originally planned to be there, but I've been traveling too much, and my wife Joyce wants us to stay home for this last month of the year to rest and recuperate. Nonetheless, I do want, on behalf of our team here in Singapore and our international colleagues at IACPAB, wish you a fantastic and wonderful birthday. Thank you, Myron, for being part of our lives.
It is a real privilege for me to have this opportunity to wish Myron Belfer a happy 80th birthday. Myron is a very special person, and I would like to refer to him as the greatest child and adolescent mental health ambassador in the world that I know. I first saw Myron at the IACPAB Congress in Berlin in 2004 from a distance when he was president, but the first time I really had a chance to meet with Myron and speak to him was on African soil. This was in 2005 at a meeting in Congo, Brazzaville. Myron has worked closely with and passionately with the first few African pioneer child and adolescent psychiatrists and mental health professionals to lay a solid foundation for the growth of child and adolescent psychiatry and mental health in Africa. I could speak for several hours about Myron's role in building up child and adolescent mental health in Africa, but I just want to mention 8 ways, one for each decade of his life so far, and use this opportunity to thank Myron for what he did. Number 1, thank you, Myron, for supporting and coming to the inter-country meeting on child and adolescent mental health in the WHO African region from the 4th to the 7th October 2005 in Brazzaville. This meeting was the first of its kind, and you came out from Geneva to support and participate in the pioneer meeting of child and adolescent mental health professionals in Africa, organized by the World Health Organization, when you were working there to push the agenda for child and adolescent mental health. Number 2, Myron, thank you for inviting me to join the IACAPAP Executive Committee as the first Presidential Fellow in 2005. That did a lot to bring the issues of Africa and other low-resource regions to the fore. Number 3, Myron, I want to thank you for being there at the IACAPAP Study Group in Nairobi, Kenya in 2007, when the African Association for Child and Adolescent Mental Health was launched. At your own expense, you were there to teach and mentor so many of us and encouraged us to rise up and become leaders. Number 4, Myron, I want to thank you for coming to Abuja, Nigeria for the IACAPAP Study Group once again, facilitating sessions and being such a great mentor. Again, you came to Nigeria at your own cost, and then there were numerous travel restrictions against coming to Nigeria, but you came to support and to be there for us. Thank you so much. Number 5, Myron, thank you for the unparalleled support I received from you when I was IACAPAP's president. Thank you for your excellent work as you were IACAPAP's external relations focal point when I was president. You wrote then every president, informing them about IACAPAP's activities. You always tried to make my work easy, and you were constantly looking for solutions to problems and standing up for me when the situation arose. You were a true mentor and friend. Number 6, Myron, I want to thank you for insisting that the 2014 Congress should hold in Africa, bringing an IACAPAP Congress for the very first time to African soil. I remember so clearly how you spoke at the crucial EC meeting in Istanbul in 2008 about the importance of taking the Congress to Africa. The convener then was Alan Fletcher, who unfortunately passed away in 2009, leaving Brian Robertson to take over as convener. You wanted a truly African conference with African speakers. I know you did not get your wish in many ways, but many of us relate to your passion about showcasing African child and adolescent mental health professionals at that Congress. Number 7, Myron, I want to thank you for agreeing to be a co-investigator at the MacArthur Grant application to establish a training program for child and adolescent mental health, the very first on the African continent. You contributed to the writing, correcting drafts, and worked hard to ensure that we won that grant, which we did. Myron, that seed sown has grown into a tree with over 100 child and adolescent mental health professionals trained from 14 African countries through your partnership and friendship. You also sent 2 big sacks of books for the CCAM library at your own cost. We are very grateful to you. Number 8, Myron, I want to thank you for focusing attention on the resource-poor regions of the world. Through your efforts, the child and adolescent mental health landscape around the world has changed tremendously, and many more infants, children, and adolescents and their families now have access to care. just because you cared. Happy birthday, dear Myron. You have done well. May God bless you. We appreciate you.
Happy birthday, Myron, from Dubai, the UAE.
The best is yet to come. Happy birthday to you, Myron, from Chile.
Happy birthday, Myron, from USA and also Nigeria.
Happy birthday from Australia.
Happy birthday, Myron, from Egypt.
Happy birthday from France, Myron. Happy birthday, hope to see you soon.
Happy birthday, Dr. Belfer. Best wishes from Turkey.